Defend yourself against DDoS attacks by hiding your true IP address with ExpressVPN, and visit my custom link expressvpn.com/ghilliemaster in the description to find out how you can get an extra 3 months free. Hey everyone, and welcome to another gtaonline in-depth guide here on the channel. Today, I'm going to show you all of the features that come with your mansion, because the mansions are honestly pretty overwhelming when you first get them. There's a lot of small things that aren't really explained that well, and just a lot of things that you should know as a new owner of one or multiple of these fine places of living. Entering the mansion through the front door, directly on the right side on the entrance table, we have a nice bowl of snacks for you to indulge on, which is very convenient, so you can just come back from whatever you're doing outside and have a fresh bowl of snacks right there to refill. Then directly to the left of that table, we have our main menu of the mansion, essentially. This is one of the many screens you will find around the place that will all give you this same exact interface when interacted with. From this menu, you can fast travel to any of your other properties in the game that you own, and I literally mean any other property. Businesses, service vehicles, apartments, other mansions if you have them. So you could technically just fast travel bounce in between each of your mansions if you own them. Although keep in mind that this is only a one-way fast travel, so once you teleport there, you can't fast travel back. Unless, like I said, you're fast traveling to another mansion that also has the fast travel service. The next super important feature of the mansion is the business production boost. This allows you to speed up the production rate of one of your businesses for an entire real-life day. That's right, whatever business you select here will give you a 66% production speed boost to that business for an entire day, which is absolutely massive. Now, the one downside to this is you can't do the same business for 2 days in a row. The acid is grayed out here for me because I boosted that the other day. But I'm sure some great combos will be found with this, like combining this speed boost with the existing Acid Lab speed boost. That probably goes insane when paired together. While we're on the topic of businesses, if you want to avoid raids altogether, then purchasing the security upgrade for your mansion when you first buy it is one of the most important purchases you can make. How it works is if you own the security upgrade on both the individual business and the mansion, those will combine to make it so that you can never get raided from that business ever again. Raids will just no longer be a thing, which is amazing. However, if you only have the mansion security upgrade and you don't have the one for your individual business, then it still just lessens the amount of time you get raided. So you need to make sure you have both the security upgrade on the individual business and the mansion. Champagne service delivers a bottle of champagne to your kitchen, which we'll see in a little bit as we select it here. It does take some time for it to deliver though. If you host a party, it will spawn NPCs around your mansion. If it's a public party, then all other players in the session will get invited to it when you start it. But essentially, it's the same thing as the casino penthouse party, just a little bit nicer because it's in a much bigger place. You can exit via a personal vehicle that is in your mansion garage, a luxury vehicle, which are just some various default ground vehicles, if you don't have a personal vehicle for whatever reason. And you can also leave through a luxury helicopter that you may own. If you don't own any, then you'll still have the mansion Voltus as a default, and you'll take off from the helipad on the roof, of course. Moving on from that, we're going to head over to the living room area, but first, on this little table here, there's some whiskey that you can drink. And as we make our way around this corner, the first thing we see is the place where we can purchase a cat. There's a few different types that you can buy, and if you already have a cat, then you can rename it here with the Y or triangle button if you're on PlayStation. And the cat will have its own minimap icon when it's here, and it will appear around various places in your mansion, around several rooms. And yes, you can pet it as long as it's not just laying down in a ball. There's a piano in this room that you can choose a few different piano pieces for it to play, or if you get sick of hearing it, you can just turn it off entirely. And you may have noticed some artwork on the walls in this room. Well, you can actually change those if you open up the interaction menu and go to Mansion Management and Customization, Decorations. You can scroll through the different areas of the property to change either the artwork or even some props around the place. And while we're on the topic of the Mansion Management menu, you can also choose which radio music plays in your mansion and nightclub area. And if you get tired of your AI assistant calling you daddy all the time, you can also turn that off if you'd like. The staff option will let you hide your mansion staff in your spa and tattoo shop, although you will have to re-enable them if you want to get a haircut or a tattoo. And the same goes for the nightclub and security. If you don't want them to appear, you can just hide them. But I, for one, just keep them all visible. The dress code option is for the mansion parties. You have to select this before you host the party, and it'll change what people are wearing at the party. I'm not sure exactly if it does anything for players. I'm assuming it probably is only for the NPCs that appear in the party. And the hot tub clothing, of course, we've all seen this before. It's the same exact option that's on the yacht hot tub and stuff like that. And in this room, we, of course, also have a TV that we can turn off if you like by just sitting down like you would in any other property. Heading over to the kitchen now, there's a couple of places where you can drink from here. There's some wine on the end of the table. You can step up and pour some drinks in the middle of the table. And on the other end, this is where the champagne is delivered when you order it from the mansion services menu. And if we go through this door here, we can find our office on the right. There are two main features in the office. Obviously, the computer, which comes standard with a master control terminal to operate all your businesses from the central location. Very important. You can also view the security cameras from this spot if you wish. The massive TV in this room also lets you access the mansion services. So let's say you start up a sell mission at one of your far away businesses from the master control terminal here. You can then fast travel to that business from the spot, which is also very convenient. Right outside of the office is our cigar room. There's some whiskey that you can drink on the table. But other than that, this room really just lets you smoke some cigars from two locations on the couches. And it's got some cool decorations to it, I will say, but none that you can customize, unfortunately. Right here, you will see an elevator. This can take you to either the lower level, the basement level 1, or basement level 2 of your mansion. It's pretty pointless to take it to the lower level because it's just going to take you right down the stairs that we're literally about to go down. And it takes way less time to just go down the single flight of stairs than it does for waiting for that animation. But the other two levels will take you to different places that might be useful that take a bit longer to get to normally. Getting into the trophy room now. If yours is empty, then you might not know how to customize it yet. If you open up the interaction menu here and go to the mansion management customization, you'll see that the trophies and plaques are no longer grayed out here if you're standing in this area. And so you can choose 5 different trophies to show off various achievements that you've accomplished in the game over the years. Some of them, like the one for earning over $1 billion, appears to be bugged at the moment because I, for some reason, don't have that one unlocked and I have over $1 billion. Additionally, the plaques section allows you to display 8 different career progress challenges that you've completed in the form of plaques. Although I do kind of wish they looked different from one another. The only thing that changes is the text on the bottom, which is kind of lame, but it's still something, I suppose. If we turn around from this area, we have our own personal podium. Now, I was supposed to have a Zaba here, but for some reason it disappeared, so I don't really know what that's about, but I'll show you how to put a vehicle here. A quick way that we can get into our garage from this location is going through the sliding door and into the podium room, and from there go to this little tablet. This one is different from the others. It allows us to teleport directly to our garage. So once we are in the garage, we need to find the blue garage layout circle. And from this menu at the bottom of the screen, we can hit X to transport whatever vehicle you want to the podium. Or you can press Y to send it to the driveway. We'll talk about that later. And once you do that, it's now going to be on the podium. And you can get back to the podium by heading over to the specific door, which will take you right back there. You can still drive this vehicle around, by the way. You just have to leave through personal vehicle with the mansion touchscreen and select it from there. Otherwise, you can't just get in it while it's on the podium and drive it out. Right across from the podium, we could find our home theater room. But you know what goes well with movies? Snacks. There is a snack bowl located right outside this room. In the theater room, if you sit down with a friend, you can play Don't Cross the Line against them on the huge screen. But other than that, there's really not much to write home about for this one. Right next to that room is the home arcade, and if you interact with the tablet in this room, you can access the arcade website to buy more cabinets, or you can select which ones you want to appear in the arcade with the other option. And next to the arcade, we have the guest bedroom, and in the interior room, we have a wardrobe that we can use, as well as a shower. Across the hall, we are now getting into the spa area. On the left-hand side, there's just a half bathroom that doesn't really serve any purpose to us. But across from that, we have our indoor pool. And if you spend time in here, it will actually lower your mental state. So if you happen to have a deep red dot and you come in here, it will lower it faster than it normally would. In the adjacent room, this is where we can find our personal tattoo artist and barber. So if you need those services, then you could just head over here to get that done. And if we go into the next room, this is our master bedroom. Right now, both my dog and cat are chilling out in here, which is pretty cool. But for features, we have just our normal wardrobe as well as a shower that we can use. And that's pretty much it for the lower level of the mansion. Now we can head down into the basement levels. And to get down to the first level of the basement, the stairs leading down are right next to the podium here. Or you can take the elevator, whichever you choose. But I find that animation to just take way too long, so I just take the stairs personally. Down here, the first floor on the right is the door to our garage if we want to get there. The door in the middle here will take us to our garden. And down the hall, we have our optional armory. If you didn't buy this, then you're not going to have it, obviously. But it's essentially just like our armory from the agency, where we can buy new weapons and customize them. We can edit our weapon loadouts. And there's even a couple of gun spawns here and health pickups too if you're not maxed out on ammo and health already. Outside of the armory on the left, we will find our nightclub room where we can dance to some music or order some Macbeth whiskey shots and pass out. And if you happen to host a party, there's a ton of NPCs that will appear in this room. If we go down the second flight of stairs into the second level of the basement, this is where we find another door to our garage. This time it's the second level of the garage though. Our vehicle workshop is located down here too. And best of all, our massive vault is down in the basement. Your vault might look a bit different than mine does. I have a ton of gold in here because it's based on how much money you have as your character. And I have like $1.3 billion. I'm not sure what it caps out at though, because there are still a couple of piles of cash laying around. Now, am I the only one that gets serious mansion heist vibes from this? I feel like it's foreshadowing something here. The mansion interior is a bit too good to pass up on for a final heist mission. Moving on to the outside of the property though, if we start on the first floor from the living room, if we go up the stairs on the left side of that room, we will end up on the rooftop terrace. And the main thing that you can do up here is yoga, and trust me, it's very much worth it to do yoga because if you're maxed out on your stamina stat, then doing yoga gives you a temporary boost to your sprint and swim speed. And it is a very noticeable difference. Just look at the difference here between me with the boosted speed and my friend Ender with the normal sprint speed. You run like twice as fast. Now sadly, I don't believe you can take this into heist missions. I believe it just stays until you find a new session or switch lobbies. Either that or it just lasts a very, very long time or until you switch lobbies. So if you're going to be grinding in a session, then I would say it's very much worth it to just do some yoga for a bit before you go into your grind so that you have super speed for the remainder of the session. The helipad is also obviously on the rooftop here. You can simply get in the mansion Valtus and take off if you'd like. This helicopter will always be here when you spawn in. But if you bring a personal helicopter here and land it, then it will also be able to be stored and repaired here temporarily. Going down the stairs and on the first floor of the outside area though, we have our dog kennel here. You can choose from a selection of different dog breeds, which is very cool. And outside of that, you do have a few different activities to do outside of the mansion in your own little instanced area. You can serve some drinks behind multiple different bar areas. You can play some darts. There's a pool, a hot tub, and multiple places to sit. The home gym is another super important aspect of the mansion. This will raise your strength stat if it's not already maxed out. And if you do happen to have maxed out strength, then performing 15 reps of any of the workouts here will give you another temporary boost just like the yoga one. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what this boost is. I initially thought it was a boost to damage resistance in PvE, but upon further investigation, it doesn't feel that different to me. And it doesn't do anything in PvP from what I've noticed, so I'm kind of still unclear on this one at the time of making this video. If anyone happens to know down in the comments what this exactly does, please let me know because I'm still kind of confused, even after testing it. Getting into the last part of the mansion property, the garage here. The garage has 2 levels that you can transport to and from via the stairs in the middle of the floor. There are 10 cars that will appear on the top floor and 10 on the bottom floor. Additionally, there are a total of 3 exit doors in this place that all look the exact same but take you to different places. The one in the middle across from the staircase will take you to the driveway or the bottom floor of your garage. The one directly across from it will take you to the podium, and the one at the very end of the garage closest to where you enter the garage from the mansion, well, that takes you to the vehicle workshop, which you probably won't ever use that one because it's really just pointless to go there without a vehicle anyways. With that vehicle workshop though, you can hop into any of your cars here and press right on the D-pad to teleport to the workshop and customize them. Though keep in mind, you will have to have GTA Plus if you want to be able to do Benny's upgrades and HSW upgrades here. If we go into the blue circle in the garage, we have a couple of different options. The first one is to place a vehicle on the podium like we went over earlier. The second option is to transfer 2 vehicles from the garage to the driveway by pressing Y while hovering over the specific car. Just to be clear, this does not give you 2 more spots of garage space. It still counts those vehicles as being in the garage. Think of them as alternative spaces that you can put your vehicles. And when they're in the driveway, you can simply walk up to them when you're in the instanced mansion and just drive them out straight from the driveway, which you're probably going to want to do with some of your most driven vehicles because the driveway is the easiest part to reach of the mansion, in my opinion. And when you bring the vehicle back in, it will also put it back in the driveway where you initially left it. It doesn't take it back to your garage unless you tell it to. So it's a cool way to show off a couple of vehicles that you use often and make it more convenient for driving them out as well. One last tip I want to give you guys, if you ever find yourself on the mansion grounds but not in the instanced version of it, say you land on the roof or are walking along the back side of the house, but in the open world, not in the instance version. If you sit still and hold the right D-pad for a few seconds when you're on the premises, it will actually just transfer you into the instance version exactly where you're standing, which is super nice. Now, you can't do this for exiting the mansion, to my knowledge. You can't just hold the right D-pad to teleport out into the open world where you just were standing. You have to actually leave through a legitimate exit to go back into the world. But another thing to note about the mansion interior, you don't actually appear on the minimap to others when you're inside the mansion like you would with other interiors. And if you're in the mansion, I also don't think you see other players' dots on your map either. So it's a bit different than other interiors work in this game right now. I imagine Rockstar did it this way to make your mansion feel more like it's your own place, so you never see anyone else there aside from you, even though that isn't really true and multiple people could very well be there. You just would never know or see them until they actually leave their own version of it along with you. Anyways, that is everything that you need to know about the mansion property in GTA Online. It's probably the best spawn location you can have now, as it should be for their insanely high price. Well, actually, it's not insanely high, but it is higher than any other property in the game. Let me know what you guys think of the mansions down in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like, as well as subscribe to my channel for more GTA Online content. I also want to give a huge shout out to all of my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.